Now, I wasn't going to speak on this matter because I feel like it's already been done to death by social media. Y'all done dragged it into the mud. But in the immortal words of Moneybag Yo, I just looked at my wrist and got time today. And oh, how the tide turns. Because you either die in Ayesha Curry or you live long enough to see yourself become a Cardi B. Now, do y'all remember 2014, 2015? She was actually trying to be an advocate for being a respectful, virtuous woman. And y'all dragged her. Y'all literally dragged her ass and dragged her name through the damn mud. All because she got on Twitter and said women shouldn't be, showing off all their goodies and being half naked on social media and twerking on all these dudes at the club and so on and so forth. That women they should cover up, they should be respectful, that they should save their goodies for their men. And y'all literally stomped her ass into the ground for saying this. And she said it at probably the most dangerous time because she said it during the thought movement. Y'all know when Amber Rose and Black China and Cardi B was all, encouraging a bunch of thought behavior. But lo and behold, a few years later, she gets on various radio shows, TV shows, and podcasts expressing her trials and tribulations in her marriage with Steph Curry. Now, Steph Curry is a guy that needs no introduction because he's a worldwide public figure. And he is arguably a top 1% man in this country, in the country of the United States of America, and arguably a top 5 to top 10% man on this planet. Think about it. A tall, rich, multi-millionaire pro athlete husband. On top of that, a lot of women would consider Steph Curry to be an attractive person, an attractive guy. And on top of that, he is regarded as a nice, wholesome, God-fearing Christian family man. You don't hear about him being abusive towards Ayesha. You don't hear about him being a neglectful husband. He's always in his children's lives. He's not in the tabloids for cheating or being, using drugs, getting in fights at the club. He's not in the tabloids for any of that. All that, and you still have problems? Now, a lot of people, myself included, say that, well, damn, if what Steph Curry, a guy like him, brings to the table isn't enough, then the rest of us average Joes, we're cooked. I would say yes and no, because not all two women are alike. And that's one thing that a lot of people, men and women, need to understand for this. Just because, Ayesha Curry might feel this way doesn't mean that every woman will. But come on. She was the standard, and it's crazy because there's been so many standards of black love that we've seen flushed down the toilet in the last few years. Will and Jada, Remy and Papoose. I can go on and on. Now she says that her biggest struggle is that she's not seen as her own person. She's only seen as Steph Curry's wife. And I mean, I get that. You want to be your own person. And she said that she had to take a back seat to her own career and she was going to pursue a career in acting, which was respectable. But worst comes to worst, your acting career doesn't, pan out the way you want it to, or maybe it does pan out and you never really find your person. Steph Curry was a godsend because, God forbid she, becomes a social media influencer. She ends up being an Amber Rose or Black China or something along those lines. And she could end up being a baby mama to one of these other rappers or pro athletes. And that's the last thing you want is to be, just known as the baby mama to a rapper or pro athlete. So really, pick your poison. And I said it once and I'll say it again. A lot of people, a lot of women would die to be in the position that Ayesha Curry is in. One last thing before I sign this video out. But do y'all notice that whenever Ayesha Curry is in the media for something like this, Steph Curry usually plays out of his damn mind? So, Steph, you better go off this year. You better remind people worldwide in the NBA how dominant you are. Because he about to light it up. Or he better light it up. But that's all I got to say about that.